Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another after show for Monday Night Raw. I am
so
Cathy, Kelley.
Yes.
Joining me, Ty Matthews.
We're tag teaming it, y'all.
We are just the two of us.
Tonight. We got this.
We like finish each other's sandwiches.
Right there. Same page.
I was telling him I probably forgot how to host in the last 2 weeks because I haven't been here, but I've missed everyone so freaking much.
We missed you too.
Not you, like the people that watch.
You missed me the most.
No,
but on behalf
I was saying puns so much, and no one was making fun of me. They were just laughing because they thought I was hilarious. It was great.
God damn it. But on behalf of, we've been playing musical chairs with hosts on behalf of John LaQuasto and Rocky Romero and The Hobo and Christian Cole. I mean, so many people.
Those are all good people.
Absolutely.
Like, way cooler than me. So, downgrade tonight. I'm sorry. But we're going to talk about Raw from Tampa, right here from our table that is not going to break. We need some bubble wrap, though, just in case.
We do. I'm so mad they didn't keep the bubble wrap on the table.
Did you know that they're getting rid of bubble wrap? Side note. Yeah, they're like not doing bubble wrap anymore. I heard because it's not.
What?
Yeah.
Where did you hear this?
I don't know, but the Clement W sent me a whole thing of bubble wrap because I love it so much, and they're like, it's not ensually friendly.
Interesting.
I could look it up, but
That's
we're talking about
true.
Raw,
That's
so
probably true.
Stop talking about bubble wrap, Ty.
Get to the show.
Sting.
Yes.
Opens the show tonight.
Stinger.
Comes out, talks about his respect for Triple H, and says that Seth Rollins isn't half the man that Triple H is. I forgot to mention, before we get into this, Johnny LaQuasto still out. He's in Vegas, I believe. And Hobo is at the Wrestle Center tonight. So if you guys miss them, hopefully they'll be back next week.
Hearts.
Yeah, they will be here. But getting back to Sting, he says that he's writing the last chapter in his career, and he wants that world heavyweight title because that is one thing that he has not had in his career. So he's going to beat Seth Rollins for the title at Night of Champions.
And I think I like this narrative arc with Sting. I think it's an arc that people can relate to and they can get on board with. He's in essence, a completionist. He's won the WCW title 6 times. He's won TNA titles, but no one's going to mention that. He's won, the NWA title. He's won all of these championships.
He's won a few things.
Never, just a couple, but he's never, this is the one. And, I mean, essentially, they're kind of the last bastion of championships for him, And I loved this promo because it reminded me that fired up Sting is one of my favorite things. Like, one of the reasons that my brother and I loved Platinum Blonde crew cut Surfer Sting back in the day is because he was so fired up, and that's why people loved him so much. He was the prototype. He was the prototype of Cena.
Yeah.
And so I think this reminded me that he's not always just like moody, spooky crow guy. Like, he can turn it on the mic.
What do you think of the argument? Some people are saying that there's too much nostalgia in WWE right now as opposed to them continuing to build their talent because they have such a huge roster and they have so many incredible guys that are, young and ready to work, but they're bringing back guys like Sting. They're bringing back the Dudley Boyz.
But I don't think it's necessarily at the expense of any of the new guys. I think the problem with TNA when they did that is they were pushing old guys at the expense of new guys. With WWE, their main focus is on the new guys, and on the side, we've got Sting, we've got the Dudleys. And not only that, but Sting and the Dudleys, they've still got a lot left in the tank. I think that's also worth noting, you know? Like, the Dudleys looked like they hadn't missed a step, and it had literally been over a decade since they had wrestled on Raw.
Which is crazy.
Which is pretty nuts.
Before I was even born. Just kidding. Before I watched, though.
It's, you know, part of the daycare program. We let Cathy host the show. And so I think the only issue that I would have taken with this promo is, I don't know if I make the jump of going from this heated rivalry between Sting and Triple H leading to Mania to now Sting's become Triple H's #1 cheerleader.
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, you know, I've got a lot of respect for him and, you know, you're no Triple H, but like...
The Authority just agreeing with everything that they were saying.
He just kept driving that point home, like, you'll never be as good as Triple H. You'll never be as good as him. It's like, when did you become such a fan?
I get that saying your opponents, like your opposition, and building them up.
Absolutely.
That's something that you need to do, but the way that he was doing it was a little bit kiss-assy.
Yeah, and it's just, and I think especially, like I said, in opposition with how heated the rivalry got leading up to Mania, it just didn't really ring true. It felt like Triple H writing the words for Sting to say.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying that was the case, that's just how it came off.
But isn't he kind of being booked more heelish now, or no?
Who's that, Sting?
Sting?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Of course not.
I don't know. I just feel like if he's siding with the Authority, but...
He's not necessarily siding with the Authority. He's trying to get under Seth's skin the way that he knows that he can. And he's trying to turn Seth and Triple H against each other, if anything.
Okay.
And of course the Authority's going to agree with him because Triple H is their almighty. So of course they're going to agree with that.
Steph is married to him.
She is.
I don't know if you knew that.
I just heard about that over the weekend on the Dirt Sheet.
Rollins is backstage, and Steph says that as much as she hates to agree with Sting, like we were talking about, Rollins isn't half the man that Triple H is. She says that legends are built over time, not in a week, not in a month, not even in a year. And Seth still wants his statue, but she doesn't think that he deserves that because he's not at the level of the other guys who have gotten such accolades.
Well, did she say he didn't deserve it?
I don't know. That's just what I was thinking.
Right. I think another issue.
He just seemed whiny, and she was calling him out on it.
Right. And it seemed like Seth is always out there, and he's always singing his own praises, as he should be. And I felt like the character Seth Rollins that we've been seeing for the past little over a year now is the kind of person that would say, no, I am better than Triple H. I know that they're saving that moment for eventually when the Triple H versus Rollins program happens. But I feel like, if anything, Seth would have stood up to Stephanie and went, no, look, I am better. Do you see all these championships I'm holding? I'm 6 away from friggin' Ultimo Dragon. I feel like he would have made a stronger argument for that instead of backing down so quickly. And I think that that's just a symptom of the thing that I think I hate the most, which is Stephanie gets the last word always.
Speaking of the last word, I just have to have the last word with people on chat. The reason why I'm not reading chat is because I have to host a show. So
yeah, we're tag teaming it, y'all.
It's very difficult, especially when you have 2 people, and I'm trying to read notes which are on a different page. So, AJ.
Cool it, man.
Shut up. Turning heel tonight, sorry.
You're
but
cool, but
I want to obviously read chat. Unfortunately, tonight it's not going to happen because there's so many other things that I have to be doing. And I'm not addicted to my smartphone. So don't call me out because I'm going to read it. Anyways.
Moving on.
Warm welcomes back. Love you guys.
What's next? We got
Ziggler, accompanied by Lana, versus Rusev, who is accompanied by Summer. And I feel like I was having deja vu during this match. It's the same of them going at it, and then one of the girls getting involved.
There's only so many times we can see this cat fight before, like, it starts to kind of get a little bit monotonous.
Yeah, which is crazy to think that this is the most developed female line that we have right now.
Interesting.
That's another story. I'm gonna flip some tables.
Some tables.
Just so heated that a southern accent apparently is coming out. I don't even know.
So fired up.
But
yeah, I think it's. I mean, the matches are never bad, but it's just the same thing. If you're gonna make the women's match or make the mixed tag match, just do it already. Like, I feel like we've seen this cat fight too many times, and people are going to stop caring.
Yeah, I think the only reason why people cared tonight is because you saw Alana's underwear. And then it's like turning into a bra and panties match, which is the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish with the women's division.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, so Ziggler is about to pin Rusev. Summer gets involved. Lana attacks her. We see later this story develop backstage. Renee interviews Ziggler, and Ziggler says he's going to the shower, and then he has a date later on tonight with Lana. Summer Rae sneaks into the shower room while Renee is talking. The shower room. The locker room with the shower in it. Right? Yeah. And yeah, we'll talk about that more later.
I have so many issues with this. Moving on.
We begin the Divas Beat the Clock Challenge.
The first ever Divas Beat the Clock Challenge.
Yeah.
Very important stuff. I did, some people were tweeting, it's, obviously they only got, a couple of minutes per match, but I'm okay with it because it's in service of the Beat the Clock mechanism, so I'm okay with it in this case. And it gives us 3 Divas matches, so you can't be too mad at that.
It did.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that they are doing something different with the storyline because we've seen the same thing as we've seen with Ziggler and Rusev. Right. My complaint is that we've seen the same thing with the Divas, the 3-on-3-on-3, and some sort of variation of, insert a diva and insert another diva.
And it's always just, hey, we're the Bellas, we've been here a while. Hey, we're not the Bellas, we haven't been here a while. And that's it. That's everyone's motivations.
Yeah. But, I mean, you and I both know, and I think anyone who's watched NXT knows what these women are capable of, and that's why it's just hard to watch this monotony.
We gushed plenty about Sasha versus Bayley last week.
Oh my gosh. My one complaint about being gone for so long was that I wasn't able to talk about all of that. And
you would have cried so much.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. Because, I talked about it a little bit on the NXT show that we filmed there just for iTunes, but I was sitting alone during that match, and it was so sad, but like in a really good, happy way.
Just left alone with your emotions.
I know. Because I have no friends, apparently.
That's fine.
Yeah, but such a good match, and I probably watched it like 4 times.
At how good a wrestling match is. It's no big deal, guys. We've all done it.
Yeah, but I think that I didn't get to talk about last week either. Okay. The women's match on Raw, and being there in the audience with everyone doing the wave, and just obviously feeling so much disrespect for them. And I don't think that it's them at all and a knock against their talent. I think that it's the way that they're being booked.
That's exactly right.
And the storyline behind it. And I get the whole, countdown until Nikki's the longest reigning champion. But you have to figure out something else. Right. And I get the Beat the Clock challenge is something different. It's refreshing. I like that. I want more.
Right.
I do.
Right. And at the very least, we saw, we'll get to that as we progress through the Beat the Clock challenge, but we saw a little bit of dissension, for the first time in PCB. So that may take us into a fresh direction.
Yeah. So the first match of the Divas Beat the Clock challenge, first Nikki comes on stage with Brie and Foxy, and they talk about the countdown clock.
They debuted the Bellatron, y'all.
The Bellatron.
Hashtag Bellatron.
And then, what is it? 14 days, something.
14 days, 1 hour, and some change. And it's interesting because, see, I've been saying this whole time that I think that they're introducing the Bellatron as sort of a Chekhov's gun. If you introduce it, it's meant to be broken. But how
funny would that be? How many fans would they piss off or be happy about it if 13 days, 11 hours.
Well, and because J-Lo and I go back and forth because he's convinced that they just want to stick it to AJ Lee, and I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think obviously what happened between them and Punk happened, but I don't think they quite have as much animosity towards AJ as people think they do. And so I don't think that this is all just some big long con to bury AJ's name in the history books. I think that they introduced this thing so that someone could break it just before it hits. But that being said, it's set to end before Night of Champions. So that introduces a whole new set of variables. So I'm not sure. I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see.
It will.
Becky is first up. She says that the B in PCB can be a B when she has to be.
A real B.
Yeah.
And it all rhymed.
Becky.
She's a poet and she didn't even realize it.
Yeah. Her pun game's so strong. You would love to hate her.
It's the accent. I love the accent so much that it cancels out. You know, I can't be mad at a pun coming from an Irish girl.
Okay.
You know?
I was going to put on an accent, but I only have
Can
Southern.
you?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Becky versus Alicia.
Nailed it.
On commentary. They talk about the time to beat. Oh, they mentioned, I don't know if you caught this, but they said that Becky is going to set the time to beat. So they actually said that Becky was going to win before the match even really started.
Not necessarily. I don't think so necessarily.
The way that it was phrased, they had to go back and correct it.
I think they implied if Becky wins, she's setting the time.
I think that's what happened.
Okay.
But 3:21, 3 minutes, 21 seconds.
Locks in the disarmer.
Yes.
Makes Foxy tap out in 3:21. Sets the time.
And that is the first match. Next up, we had Rich Brennan backstage talking to Ryback. He said, "No one, nothing, not even a staph infection can keep the big guy down."
He meat hooked his own staph infection.
Yep.
That's anatomically not gonna happen.
Oh, okay.
Don't know. Someone draw it. Someone out there draw a picture of Ryback meat hooking and shell shocking his own staph infection, as if he were like a contortionist.
Yeah.
I want to see that.
I don't. That sounds disgusting.
Maybe it's just impressive.
Sounds disgusting.
God damn. Goddamn words.
But they're interrupted as Summer Rae runs out of the shower, room.
You hear like a screech.
A cackle laugh.
I legitimately thought, like, did a mouse run by?
Yeah.
Like, we whip pan over to the shower room. And Summer is just like
scurrying away
in her heels.
And Ziggler comes out in a towel
and shows so much. Like, who would have thought that the least PG moment of the show would be Ziggler showing damn near everything?
I would.
Of course you would.
I don't know. I feel like he would want to do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, character-wise, like, if you're Ziggler and you're the show-off, like, you would want to be naked all the time. But it's a PG show, doll. Come on. Mm-hmm. Come on.
Family
and
show.
Get those tan lines under control, too.
What happened to his bleached hair? Letting it grow out.
I've been asking what happened to his hair for weeks now.
Yeah. Him and Seth need to go to the store.
You know?
Get some bleach.
Come on.
Big Show versus Ryback. Miz on commentary. Just talking about how he got back from taping Santa's Little Helper and how he wants another IC title match.
If they don't tie the Big Show's appearance in Jingle All the Way into Miz being in Santa's Little Helper, I'm done with everything.
Well, wouldn't that throw off Miz's whole game plan of being the only movie star in...
Yeah, that's the point. Big Show could come out and say, "Hey, Miz, you're not the only one to be in a Christmas movie." Show him fighting Arnold Schwarzenegger amidst a warehouse full of fake black market Santas. Watch Jingle All the Way, y'all. It's never too early.
That'd be good.
I want the Turbo Man.
Is that your accent?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Throwing you off your game.
This mic is attacking me.
You break it, you buy it.
I got too excited about Jingle All the Way, guys. Sinbad.
Miz distracts during this match, which leaves Ryback to capitalize with shell shock for the win.
And this match, I watched a little bit of it. I got in a little late and I caught up on it. And it was actually the exchange of false finishes between them was more exciting than I kind of was anticipating.
Yeah.
You know, Big Show locks in a modified Cobra Clutch, and after that, they start sort of trading false finishes back and forth. And it was actually not bad. It was pretty exciting.
Yeah. Second Beat the Clock challenge. Charlotte versus Brie.
Yeah.
Becky looks a little salty when Charlotte wins.
Sure.
Beats her. One, with the new time being 1 minute and 40 seconds.
It's natural selection.
Very short.
Takes it, and a minute and 41. And I mean, really, when the first match sets a time of 3:21, you kind of have to go as fast as you can. See,
But they were playing a game of cat and mouse too, where Brie was just trying to run out of the ring at any chance that she could get.
Right. And if you think about it, why wouldn't she? I mean, really, in theory, my whole thing is, during every one of these challenges, what's to stop Team Bella from coming out there and attacking their own partners and just causing a DQ? And just not letting any of them win?
Yeah.
But the answer is because it's wrestling.
True.
It's the answer to a lot of questions.
So then that, I think, poses a bigger question is, should it have been a beat the clock challenge, or why don't we just have a tournament?
A tournament would be great. I
thought that would be awesome because
we did get a tweet because we've got 9 divas that we're focusing on Raw. One of them's obviously the champion. That leaves a perfect 8 for a tournament.
Yeah. I still would throw Natty and Emma in there.
Sure. Oh, I miss Natty. I forgot
about
Natty. Poor Natty.
Have you seen her storyline on Total Divas recently?
I have not.
Oh. Well, she's really upset because she feels like they're not using her as much because she's getting old. But Tamina is older than her.
Is she?
Yeah, which makes no sense. So they're trying to put her in a role where she's basically just mentoring girls down at NXT. I don't know how much truth there is to that or if it is just storyline, but I want to see her wrestle again.
Absolutely.
I think that she deserves that.
I miss the days of her and Beth Phoenix teaming up and just wrecking people, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what we need. We need a Queen of the Ring style tournament, and we need a new belt.
We do.
Lance Storm said it best. We need a new title.
Do you see them having any more crossover, since they have had 2 present or current NXT women's champs on the main roster while they were still holding the belt? Do you see maybe some more crossover with that?
With the title?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't know. I think Bayley is going to kind of lead a new generation of
women down at NXT.
Women down at NXT. Yeah. Like the more I think about, again, reading Lance Storm's blog really made me realize how like irritating the term diva is.
I hate it.
Diva in any other context is a bad thing. It's someone that's bossy and has too much of an attitude. You know, these are
Sasha's character
wrestlers.
is a diva,
right,
but
exactly.
These are women female wrestlers.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with calling them women. The women's championship was perfectly fine the way it was.
Yeah. They have enough women on the main roster right now to start. I mean, so many people have said on the internet that they should start a women's tag division.
Sure. But so I think Bayley's going to hold the title for a while. She's going to lead kind of a new generation, basically. And I think it's going to be a clean break. I think it's going to be, she's going to drop it to someone and then move up. I don't know if they're going to cross over again.
Before we get into the next segment, I want to mention something that I think we've seen in WWE product before, DraftKings. Have you heard about it?
I have.
Yeah. So last football season, DraftKings.com crowned more millionaires than any other one-week fantasy sports site anywhere. This season, apparently the prizes are even bigger and even better. You could start the season by winning $2 million in week 1.
Whew.
I would like that. It's the biggest fantasy football contest ever. $10 million in prizes overall up for grabs, including $2 million for first place, $1 million for second place. 1 week fantasy means no season-long commitments either.
There you go.
It's fantasy football on demand, so play where you want, when you want, with all the players you want. You've never experienced football like this before.
And look, guys, I'm in a fantasy league, and I don't know the first thing about football. I could not tell you the rules of football if you put a gun to my head, and I'm still in a league. I just pick the guys with
the names. It's all about luck.
I pick the guys with the names that I like best. I draft my kicker first, and I make everyone else in the league mad, and it's still fun. So you don't need to be a football fan to have fun playing fantasy football.
Seriously.
That's my point.
On DraftKings, you can just pick your players, pile up the points, pick your cash, and that's it. So that's why you should do DraftKings.
Absolutely.
I might do it.
Fontana Frittatas are going to take it this season.
So with DraftKings, what I was mentioning, you can enter Buzz, B-U-Z-Z, for free entry at DraftKings.com, and could be a millionaire.
Do it.
If you do it.
There's worse ways to make $1 million.
Yeah. So, getting into this next segment.
We got
Renee Young interviewing the Dudley Boyz.
The very tan Bubba Ray Dudley, by the way. He has been hitting the beds, y'all.
Over the last 10 years.
No, even just since last week. He saw himself on Raw. He was like, man, I gotta hit the tanning bed.
Yeah. Renee looked a little interesting during this segment. She looked a little sad.
I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was a little bit weird. We love Renee more than anything.
I think she is one of the best assets to WWE that they have.
Definitely.
There.
I think if ESPN poaches her, like I've heard happen, that would be a heartbreaking move. It would be great for her, obviously, heartbreaking for wrestling fans. But she looked a little bit sad. If you watch her, go back and watch this promo. It looks like she's kind of about to cry.
A little bit,
and I don't know if the Dudleys have that effect on people.
I hope not.
You know what?
Maybe she's just nostalgic.
My mother was a table.
She's so nostalgic that she was just like brought to tears.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
tweet us your theories, y'all.
They promise.
Hashtag sad Renee.
Sad Renee. They promise that they're going to put some people through some tables.
Sure, as they are wont to do.
You're happy that they're back, obviously.
Absolutely, definitely. It's, like I said, over a decade since they've wrestled on Monday Night Raw, and they look like they haven't lost a step.
Yeah.
It's great. The 3D is still one of my favorite double team finishes of all time.
Before we get to their match, have a great match in tonight's Raw. Cesaro versus Kevin Owens.
Yes, definitely.
I feel like I could just watch them put on matches every single week and not get tired of it.
It's great. I mean, every single time they go out there, they're telling a new dynamic story, and they're telling it so well.
Yeah. What do you think about this time around specifically?
I thought this time around was perfect because they're in a tough spot. They're in a predicament where they have to keep Cesaro strong. They have to keep him riding this momentum of the Cesaro section and being ostensibly one of their top baby faces right now. They also have to kind of get Kevin Owens back, make him look a little strong after having suffered a couple of losses. They need to reposition him as the threat that he was when he beat John Cena clean.
Do you think that they're accomplishing that with the way that they're booking it?
I think so. I think the way that this match ended was a perfect example of wrestling psychology. You know, Cesaro, he got knocked off the apron, took the announce table straight into his ribs to the point where I wasn't sure. I thought that he might have really been hurt. And so Owens takes over immediately, smells the blood in the water, super kicks him right in the ribs, throws him into the ropes, pop-up powerbomb. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
And I think that's perfect.
Bubble wrap?
It's... All right. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that.
Okay.
All right.
That was the biggest pop I'll get tonight.
God damn it. Cathy.
Okay.
The worst human.
I need other people here to laugh at my bad jokes.
Nope.
Emmanuel Dominguez in chat said that he wants more Cesaro versus Owens. So
sure, definitely.
We aren't the only ones.
But yeah, so like I said, I think this loss accomplished that because it positions Kevin as a smart wrestler who, you know, outsmarted Cesaro tonight. But at the same time, it makes Cesaro look no worse. He just succumbed to an injury, basically. Yeah. So I thought it was great. I thought it was absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Agree. Excited to see where this goes to. Not so excited to see Ziggler and Lana have a lover's quarrel backstage.
Oh, hashtag sad Lana. Everyone's sad tonight, y'all.
She's so sad.
So sad.
Her teeth are so white, but she's so sad.
Really white.
Her hair is so blonde. And she's so sad.
Yeah. But it's like, okay, so, I almost forgot about the main issue that I had with this freaking storyline. So here's the thing, y'all. When you're dealing with a show that's on global TV in front of millions and millions and millions of people, I don't think that stories like this work, where we literally saw everything that happened in the story. We saw Dolph Ziggler go into the shower room. We saw Summer Rae sneak in after him. We all saw that. What's to stop Dolph from saying, oh, hey, just wait till the show's over and, like, we'll DVR it and I'll rewind it and you can see that I'm not a scumbag for once? Like, I'm not asking for everything to be hyper realistic. I don't think it's too much to ask. I'm just saying, think about this kind of stuff. This sort of thing doesn't really work anymore.
If we didn't see the way that she went in, if we just saw her coming out and laughing, and then Ziggler coming out in his towel, that would have been much more suspicious, and it would have been the he said, she said.
Exactly.
But now we know exactly what to think.
Right. Just, Lana, DVR it. DVR the show. Watch your own product. Come on. What are we doing?
Yeah. So Bray comes out.
And he's got horns.
He's
wearing like a weird Hot Topic horn hoodie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I dig it.
No.
Like, just what's wrong with the fedora, man?
Yeah.
Let's rock your wicker fedora.
So he comes out with his new buddy, Braun Strowman. Yeah.
Braun Stroganoff.
Abe Froman.
Braun Strowman, the Sausage King of Chicago. Cathy, do you get that reference?
Yeah.
She does not.
Sausage King.
I'm done forever.
Yeah.
Please continue.
Thank you. Bye. And Harper.
And Luke Harper.
Do you have a joke for him? No? Okay.
No. He's just wearing... I don't like Harper wearing a regular-ass zip-up hoodie.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Like, where's your flannel with everyone's names crossed out?
I don't like Bray wearing his own shirt.
Right.
Don't.
Yeah. You're a weird cult leader from the Bayou. Why are you wearing something I can buy on WWEshop.com? Come on, man.
Yeah. At least, like, you know...
Wear your sweet leather...
Throw it in the mud a little bit.
The butcher apron from NXT when he was wearing that sweet mask thing. Be creepier, man.
Yeah.
That's really my advice to everyone.
Where'd you leave your rocking chair? Where's that? Did you forget it somewhere?
No, it got destroyed, remember?
I think he has multiple rocking chairs.
He may not.
Braun versus
Braun Strowman.
Ambrose.
Well, they do a little bit of talking.
Yes, they do.
A little bit of talking. He says, well, and Braun speaks for the first time.
Yes.
And his voice is something, y'all. Like, it is, like, deep. I'm not going to try to do it because I'm no Johnny LaQuasto.
Okay.
But he says that this is the apocalypse.
It is.
And Bray Wyatt is thanking Sister Abigail for this gift, bestowing upon him her black sheep in the form...
Bestrowing?
Oh, man. You know what? You know what you are? You're like butter. You know why? Because you're on a roll.
Dun, dun, dun. We think that he looks like the menacing chipmunk or whatever.
The dramatic chipmunk.
Dramatic chipmunk.
No menace. But we hear... So, we move on to Braun Strowman versus Dean Ambrose. During commentary, see, I love little things like this that they throw in. Bray Wyatt calls himself the new face of fear. Braun Strowman is the new face of destruction, while Luke Harper is the new face of desolation.
Fear, destruction, and desolation.
It's all marketing. It's little things that probably doesn't mean anything, but I love it. I love everyone having a different nickname.
Yeah.
That's my steez, as the kids say.
They could be FDD, and then they have the three of them fight another three-person team New Day, and then they need another three-person team, and then the other one would be...
could be pinky swearing.
The submission fraternity. Coming up with some original ideas.
Nailing it.
Yep.
Nailing it.
Awesome.
Moving on to the matchup.
You do want to move on.
Yes.
So let's talk about this match. Braun's debut on Raw.
I'm Braun Burgundy?
I was going to say he's strong, like brawny.
God damn it. We're the worst. Why do we do this?
Not SAWFT soft.
God damn it.
Ambrose looked like an absolute ragdoll during this, just playing that up. But what did you think of Braun?
He looked good. I think there's certainly been worse debuts. He looked as strong as he needed to, with both Dean and Roman trying to kind of overcome him, and him still, like you said, throwing him around like rag dolls.
Last week at Raw in Brooklyn, he came out, and I would say most of the audience had no idea who he was.
Right.
And there were drunk guys behind me, and they were just in awe. They're like, he's so tall.
Right.
Grown men freaking out.
If Wikipedia is to be believed, this guy is not only 6'8", he is 385 pounds. Like he's dwarfing even Harper. It's bonkers.
6'8" is no joke.
Nope. And I like his moveset. It's unorthodox and it fits what someone in the Wyatt family would use. You know, he's clawing people around their jaw and around their chin, and he's using weird reverse choke slams and that weird hug chin or hug choke words. You know?
Yeah.
I'm so flustered. But as you mentioned when we were in the room, just the fact that he's so tall that he can just lift Dean Ambrose up
and
off
his
of his
feet just dangling
there. It's a great visual, and that's the kind of thing that personas and myths are made of.
Yeah.
The reason that people loved The Undertaker so much when he first started is because he was sitting up like a freaking reanimated zombie, and no one had ever seen that before. Right now, the way that this guy is turning Dean into a human ragdoll and lifting him off the ground, we haven't seen that before, so who knows?
So after this match, Renee interviews...
Braun wins by disqualification.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Roman, he decides to get a little shovey with Roman, pushes him over, and Roman is having none of that.
No.
Because I don't know if you've heard, he likes to punch people in the mouth.
Super punch.
Yep. And he decides to start punching Braun.
That's a stupid idea.
Gives Braun the DQ win, and they leave 2/3 of the former Shield lying in the ring, unconscious.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, y'all.
After Sister Abigail, too.
After Sister Abigail.
Mm-hmm.
After Bray Wyatt, once again, thanks Sister Abigail.
Mm-hmm. So, actually, before we get into Renee interviewing Rollins backstage, I want to mention a little documentary that came out on Friday. I don't know if have you gone to the Super Kick party yet?
Guys, do you like Super Kicks? Do you like Hanson? Do you like Fringe on tights? I know the answer is yes to all of these. Our good buddy Jimbo, our lovely man behind the controls tonight,
in the booth,
has produced this fantastic. He is a filmmaker. He's an incredible filmmaker. In addition to being an incredible producer and an incredible cameraman, he's a jack of all trades. He has come out with the Young Bucks' Too Sweet Journey. And I mean, look at this. Look at on the cover. We've got Kevin Owens himself right there.
Whoa!
Too Sweetin' him right there on the bottom.
Whoa!
We've got the Meltzer driver up top. What more can you ask?
And on the back, 2 kids just waiting to be super kicked. Is that what that is? Oh.
That's their daughters.
Oh.
But it's even better.
There's Airborne.
They're family men.
Matt Sydal.
There's Evan Bourne. Matt Sydal. He's reborn. There's Bret Hart. There's the Young Bucks in Kane masks. Guys, if the Young Bucks wearing Kane masks doesn't do it for you, I don't know what's going to.
2-hour bonus disc includes...
What's on it, Kath?
Well, Kevin Steen is there. Kevin Owens.
Sure.
Colt Cabana. Mm-hmm. Dave Meltzer. Mm-hmm. Booker T.
Ooh.
Excalibur. And many, many more.
So many more.
Just buy it. Online.
Buy it up, y'all.
James, where can they buy it?
On highspots.com and DIYwrestling.com.
Boom.
Do it.
Watch some wrestling documentaries.
Yeah.
There's nothing more fascinating than a documentary about wrestling. And these guys' story, I mean, starting from the backyard and just moving all the way up to where they are now, it's an awesome story.
Yeah. And then super kick someone.
And just
because you're so excited because you bought this
everyone.
DVD.
If you buy this DVD, you will come out knowing how to super kick someone. That's not a guarantee. That may not even happen. But you should.
Definitely. So.
Too sweet me, y'all. Boom.
Aw, you just too sweeted yourself.
Yeah. Too sweet me, Cathy.
I've never done that before.
It's like wolves kissing.
Oh.
Yeah, you know.
Cool.
Get it? 'Cause it's like a wolf head.
I got that.
Yeah. It's a wolf pack.
Oh.
Don't turn your back on
the wolf pack grew by 1 that day.
We're the worst people.
People probably hate us in chat.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not reading it. That's why.
Nope.
So, Renee.
Hate on it.
Interviews Rollins.
Renee looking a little bit less sad.
Yeah. Not sad, Renee.
Not sad.
Hashtag not sad.
Happy Renee.
He, though, is sad because he doesn't have a statue.
Nope.
Still.
Hey, just going to take someone's statue. Just not tell them where it is.
Yeah.
Like, how do you...
How rude.
I like imagining Sting like an old-timey cartoon, like hiding behind like a shrub, like just moving along with like a statue under his arm, and nobody notices.
Yeah.
That's how I choose to interpret it.
Okay. I just kind of feel like they didn't make a statue.
Though they showed it.
I know, but...
What? See, what I was hoping for is that he would reveal the statue, but it would be defaced with Sting's face paint.
Oh. Yeah. Sting, when he came out of the box, was a little bit sweaty.
He was...
The face paint wasn't all there.
Well, Seth had been talking for quite a while that night.
Yeah. It was interesting how they got that box into the ring, too. With a human inside of it.
So. Right.
The last Beat the Clock challenge of the night, Paige versus Sasha. Paige about to win with the Rampage, but Team Bad pulls Sasha out of the ring, and Paige does not beat the clock.
Hashtag sad Paige.
Happy Charlotte.
Happy Charlotte.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was interesting. What I thought was going to happen, I thought that maybe Sasha was going to just straight up win this match and maybe get inserted into the title picture.
Okay.
But I think second best option. Paige hits the Rampage, and Sasha looks smart because she was the one that started rolling towards the ropes, and then Naomi and Tamina pulled her out. And I thought that was a really smart way to book the end of this match.
I thought this was going to plant seeds of PCB breaking up because they would start to get jealous of one of the other girls, right now being Charlotte, but it looked like everyone was happy at the end of it, shaking hands and hugging each other.
Right. And I think that if this does work in the direction of, sowing the seeds of dissension, I think that that's going to be eventually sometime down the line, and this will probably be used as fodder for that. But it is refreshing to see a lack of jealousy. I feel like jealousy is the one thing that we see too much of.
That's something that we see way too much of storylines with women involved.
Right.
Team Bella comes out, speaking of jealousy, and the Bellatron above them.
Hit that Bellatron, y'all.
Nikki and Charlotte face off. Charlotte's like, come at me.
Sis.
Not sis.
No.
Come at me. Nikki.
God damn it. But yeah, so we've got a match set for Night of Champions in 3 weeks. We've got Nikki Bella defending the title against Charlotte. I think that's exciting.
I agree.
I think that match, I think they're really, really going to turn it up for that match. I think we're going to see some good stuff.
Renee interviews Lana backstage and
still sad.
Shows her the video of, the interview that she had with Summer over the commercial break. And Summer says that Dolph invited her into the shower room. And they had a talk before he got into the shower, and then invited her into the shower. And she was just overcome with emotion.
Taken
and
aback.
So impressed.
She almost, if it wasn't for Rusev, she would have taken him up on it. But she was like, you know what? Gotta stay faithful.
Is Rusev mad? I feel like he would be crushed. Lana just says nothing.
Nothing.
She cries. Hashtag sad Lana. New day.
Yes.
Making everyone happy again. What do you think of Xavier's hair?
Oh, man. I missed Cat Williams.
He looks slick.
It's absolutely.
Yeah?
He had that brush with him. It was just right when you think that the New Day can't get any better, they come out with that.
Yeah, Wood says that the Dudley Boyz are a menace to society and to furniture. And then they start talking about all the tables that have helped everyone in their lives. The pool tables.
The pool table.
Periodic tables.
The periodic table. None of us would be here if it wasn't for the periodic table. They call them table poachers.
Yeah.
And they take out a table from under the ring, wrapped in bubble wrap. And
Biggest pop of the night. And
they say that this is the last table here. They say here, I'm assuming they mean in the building. On commentary, they mean it's the last table ever.
That table is about to go extinct. Because it's the last table. R.I.P. table.
Is there the pun that you're trying to make with extinct?
No.
Okay.
I was just stating a fact.
All right.
Trying to make puns happen when I wasn't ready for one.
Good.
The Dudley Boyz come out and they have a match against New Day. Primetime players on commentary.
Always a pleasure when they're on commentary.
You have to know that the table's going to get involved. Mm-hmm. What'd you think?
I thought it was great. I thought the match was, I think it was what it needed to be for kind of the first chapter in this sort of rivalry. And I think, what do you think we're going to see? I feel like we're going to see a 3-team table match at Night of Champions.
Okay.
I think we might see New Day defending against the Dudleys and the PTP. Throwback style, 3-team tables match.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Everyone's saying Vegeta3639 said R.I.P. Vegeta.
Come on.
Yeah. Sorry. I can't read, apparently.
Soft G. What's he saying?
He said R.I.P. table.
R.I.P. table.
Yeah. Green Thunder said booty. I don't know if you saw.
Booty! The Vine?
Yes.
Of course.
Just let Big E do whatever he wants to do because there was a Vine of him backstage somewhere, probably at one of the house shows, and he was just on some sort of scooter contraption. Kind of deals, yeah. With Sasha Banks on board.
Just right behind him, almost like they were taking like a prom picture.
Yeah. Booty!
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 So, that made me so happy.
So good. It brought back the nostalgia for when him and Caitlyn used to do those videos.
Tweets, absolutely.
So good.
See, those were, man, I never realized it. Those moments of Big E were the kind of the seeds of New Day Big E. Mm-hmm. Incredible.
Yeah. So the final segment of the night.
Dudley Boyz win.
Dudley Boyz
3D
win.
on Kofi. Mm-hmm. Getting the Duke.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Rollins and Steph in the ring. Cena comes out, demands a rematch, and he says that he is invoking his rematch clause at Night of Champions. So Rollins is going to be screwed.
Just getting right to it.
Okay, would you like to talk about?
There's a little bit of build to it.
Yes.
A little bit of build to it. They're playing this whole tease between Seth and Stephanie, where Seth, he wants to say that he's better than Triple H. I feel like he should, but obviously he doesn't want to step on the toes of the authority. Stephanie, I feel like, is kind of going back and forth, basically telling Seth to know his role, in not so many Dwayne Johnson-esque words, but saying, you're not Triple H, not yet, but you are the man. And even though she was the one that told him to go out there and call out Sting, she's saying, you know what, you need to kind of back up a little bit. He's off the gas. Eventually, John Cena comes out and he says, it was the authority that said every single championship will be defended at Night of Champions. And since you're already defending the WWE World Heavyweight title and I get an automatic rematch for the U.S. title, guess what? You're pulling double duty. And he turns it over to Steph to confirm the decision. And much to Seth's chagrin, she says yes.
Because she's going to do what's best for business. Sorry, Seth.
And really, rules is rules. Mm-hmm. Every title has to be defended. He's already defending the World Heavyweight title, and Cena does have an instant rematch. I really thought that everything came together really well in this little turn of events.
Yeah.
And so Seth's going to be pulling double duty. And if anyone is in the kind of shape to pull double duty, it's Seth Rollins.
But you would have to think that that's not necessarily the smartest time for Cena to do his rematch, because you would think that he would be before Rollins' match with Sting. So he's really only helping out Sting a little bit.
But maybe in his mind, theoretically, maybe Seth Rollins is so focused on holding on to the World Heavyweight title, he's not even thinking about the U.S. title. Maybe Cena's capitalizing on that.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, we will see how that all plays out at Night of Champions.
Yep, and then so after that, matches are made. Cena goes up top. Sting's music hits. They got a pose down, and I gotta admit, it was pretty cool. Rollins is in the ring holding both titles. Cena's up at the ramp. Sting's up at the ramp. Cena throws up the what's he throw up? Champ is here. All of that.
The okay sign.
He's A-okay. That's what he throws up. Sting throws up classic Stinger.
He's A-okay.
It's great. It's great stuff.
Do you get it?
What?
He's A-okay.
God damn it, Cathy. You're the dirt worst.
So, that wraps up Raw tonight.
Yeah, what'd you think?
It was great.
It was a good, good show.
Feel like I need to apologize again, but Johnny's not here. But
we got this.
He will be back next week.
This on lock.
And what better way to spend Labor Day than watching AfterBuzz TV Raw? Because that's what's going to happen next week.
4 horse people, y'all.
We will be here.
Wear our shirts. Give the 4 horse people a chance. Come on.
Yeah. So
let's make this a thing.
Ty Matthews.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Of course, thank you for returning and not staying in New York.
I know, I wanted to. You could check out some of the cool stuff that I got to do while I was in New York. Hung out with Sam Roberts a lot, and he had incredible stuff going on from his podcast. Yes, he did a live show at Caroline's with Paul Heyman and Corey Graves. The entire show is on YouTube at youtube.com/notsam. Where can they find you?
They can find me, you know what, you know where to find me. If you don't, you can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA. Pick up the new issue of Alternative Press tomorrow. See what I thought of the new Bless the Fall record. Spoiler alert, it's awesome. And watch Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. Come out to the tapings on September 13th. You may see a familiar face. Kathy.
James, before we get to me, where can they find you? And again, where can they find the Young Bucks DVD?
On Twitter at @TheJimboSlice, and you can find the Young Bucks DVD on highspots.com and download it on DIYWrestling.com.
Awesome, definitely do that.
And that's the Jimbo Slice, the with 2 E's, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley. Kelly also has 2 E's. Find me on Instagram at Kathy Kelley.
Consecutive, though.
And I'm also on Periscope and Snapchat and all that other jazz. So check those out. See you guys again next week, and thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Woo.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.